Haunting Ground, or Demented for Japan. This is my first time playing this particular game. I never heard of it, and compared to Capcom like Resident Evil and Dino Crisis, no one talks about this, and it gets compared with Clock Tower 3. Me personally, I never played those games. Okay, I lied, but this will be my first time playing this type of game for the PlayStation 2, and experience Clock Tower-ish franchise without playing Clock Tower. And with that being said, I'm really excited to see if it's any good. Hopefully it is. Like I said, this got compared to Clock Tower 3. Unfortunately, it didn't do well, as Capcom wanted the game to sell 400,000 copies, but only sold 122,022 units. Haunting Ground, or Demented, was made and published by Capcom, released for Japan and Europe by April 2005 and May 2005 for North America, exclusive to the PlayStation, and the genre is survival horror. Not any kind that's gun blazing, it's the kind in where you have to run away and hide. But again, this game also fails to meet demands. A lot of people are saying that this is a spiritual successor to Clock Tower, or was Clock Tower 4, but I can't comment on that. And also, Capcom was hesitant with the female protagonist, as feared that the retailers would not like it, and focus it around a buddy system with you, the player, and the dog. The critics of this game are stupid. It got average score, as some critics say it was repetitive, but that's like most games, and had poor pacing, but it has no load times. But on the other hand, it got praise for its graphics, cutscene, and atmosphere. Many critics also didn't like the sexual themes of objectification for Fiona, but hey, it's Japan. They don't care about any of that. Have you not seen their wacky, ecchi animes? Anyways, I got sidetracked there. For me, I've played plenty of horror games like Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, Fear, and Alien Isolation, and many more. I was worried that this was gonna put me off and not play it, as sometimes it's not fun running around helpless, but since it's a Capcom title, you know that the story is going to be out of this world. You're Fiona Belly, an 18-year-old college student that got in a car with the parents and drive to nowhere, when all of a sudden a car crash happened. As you wake up in a dungeon with slight amnesia as to what happened, fortunately the idiot that was cutting meat forgot to lock the door to the cage as we escape. Something runs towards us as we duck out the way and grab a collar that says Huey. Fiona escapes the basement and wanders around and enters the mansion bedroom, where a maid has prepared clothes for us to wear. When we ask her as to where we are, she doesn't respond. Only looks at the painting and calls it master. Yeah, living in a mansion like that must be lonely, huh? I so can't relate to your problems. Now that Fiona has got new clothes on, we wander around the mansion as this big hulking sloth called Demented chases after us, in which he is our first pursuer. We go outside the mansion and enter this room and... okay, that's not creepy at all. Some random dude at the top room asks us to remove the sheets. Doing so, we see ourselves, but this is different. It's pregnant. As the creepy man says that Fiona will be his and wants to impregnate her. Man, this story got weird really quick. We wander around the kitchen as Demented chases after us, but is commanded to stop as we are greeted by Ricardo, keeper of the house. He tells Fiona that her parents died in a car accident and she is the sole heir of this mansion. That's great and everything, but everyone's trying to kill us and you tell me that we own this mansion. So that means that we own you, the maid and the sloth? Yeah, whatever. You're not fooling me, but then again you might be telling the truth, you know. We see a dog outside that is stuck as the wires around his neck. We free him and tell the dog to go run away. Feeling good about ourselves, hopefully. We go back to the bedroom and find the Goonie waiting at the bed. Hopeless, we back away as the dog comes in that we saved, fend off Demented and runs away. And with that we befriend a white shepherd dog called Huey. We can command him on what to do, but I'll cover that on the gameplay side. We wander around, opening paths with the help of Huey, solving puzzles as we enter the kitchen and see the maid is cooking something. I wonder what's for dinner. What? Nah, surely can't be human flesh. Is it? Oh my god, it is. We go through this creepy room and... oh, how thoughtful of you, game. We don't even get to see it. Going further, we pick up a phone that's ringing, and damn, that phone is huge. Anyway, someone tells us to be wary of Ricardo, and something about Azoth as well. We run away from the sloth and figure out a lot of puzzles to advance. As this one, we need to push the blocks to their colours respectively. When completed, the floor reveals a spiral staircase, and the quick puzzle is to align these reflectors so that the door can open. We go through but need our dog to guide us. See, we need a dog, if I can find him. He doesn't show up at a time like these, and when I call him, Ego shows up, so I have to run away and come back and call again. Anyways, we get through and enter the chapel, get the keys, and a boss fight happens. Just kick the supporters of the chandelier as it falls on top of him, but that doesn't kill him. Instead, he bows to us and walks away, as Fiona kinda regret it as well, since she's like a child in a man's body. We try to use a key, but unfortunately dinner is served. The maid is called Daniela, and she reveals that she cannot feel anything and so on. Basically, she's a hollow. We eat the food, but Fiona isn't feeling well as she sleeps on the bed, but Daniela gives a monologue that she is jealous of Fiona able to use her 5 senses and experience pleasure. But mostly she is jealous that Fiona can give life via fertile womb. She gets all crazy, smashes a glass window and grabs a shard, as now she's a new pursuer. Man, this woman is crazy. Like really crazy. We figure out a ton of puzzle, as now the mage has changed a weapon to a hot poker and wants Azos, the essence of life. We try to walk across this walkway, but the statue has a crossbow, as we get 3 tries and it failed. Having figured the puzzle out, we go through and have ourselves another boss battle with the unhinged Daniela, as we have to push the blocks to their colours and lower her into the mirror in the middle. She doesn't like her looks, by the way, as her scream shatters the glass above and gets impaled. We head down the stairs and use a key and head to another room, as we're now confronted by Ricardo, as he wants us to stay, but we plead to let us go, as now Ricardo thinks that she's ungrateful and he is our 3rd pursuer. We do puzzle and head outside the forest, as Ricardo reveals that he is a clone of his father and killed him and wants Azos that we inherited from our father by using Fiona's womb and being reborn. Yep, classic Capcom story writing right there. I love it. He imprisons us in a water tower as we escape with the dog and go to the top of the tower and have another boss battle. We break the ledge and use Huey to surprise attack him. Doing so will result in him falling to his death, as now we cross the bridge. We find Lorenzo that was helping us with letters, only to find out that he's after the same thing as well, and that he was the one that created your father Ugo and Ricardo, and he's the master of the castle. He ditches his wheelchair and crawls to get us. We use the candlestick to light the flammable boxes, as Lorenzo is caught by it, but he isn't dead. As we enter the room that has a conveyor belt that crushes rocks, we kick the power button to start it and don't run to the conveyor. We lower Lorenzo into the conveyor belt as he gets crushed and we get a key. Well, that segment was too easy. But then we get encountered by Lorenzo again, as this time he's mastered the aging process to make himself younger by using Ricardo's body. We skip and enter certain doors to escape, and that is blue door, yellow door, green door, red door and black door. We enter a room that has a lava pit and we need Huey to pick up a scent so that we can track it down. We head to the cave and find a wall that Huey will bark at, and you'll get a cane that you need to put it in a slot. As now we have a final boss fight, as there's no gimmick here, you just need to hurt him enough so that he can fall down to the lava and die. But this place is falling apart as Fiona got escaped, but unfortunately Lorenzo climbs up and chases after us. We run and tackle the door to open it, remember to do that as well, and continue to run and crouch as there's a tremor, and failing to do so you take damage. A statue falls on you, but just button mash it out your way and you get closer to the exit door, but Lorenzo blocks our path and yes, he disintegrates and dies. As soon as we open the gate to escape, we're confronted by Demented, but he lets us go as he got his own stuff to do, as now we escape the horrors of the mansion with Huey. Man, this story is crazy. I like it that the opening title is unique, as you see Fiona and the dog running across, and this game aesthetic reminds me of Devil May Cry, as it has fixed camera angles, but not the one like Resident Evil with the all still. Here it follows you as it moves and it wants you to see what it wants you to see, but you need to play the game to see it through. So how is the gameplay then? Well, since Fiona can't fight like your average horror protagonist, you need to rely on yourself and the dog. But what can you do in a situation like this? Well, Fiona can run and backstep to avoid enemies' attack, but both use stamina, and this has a system in where if you use too much, Fiona will get exhausted and will start to move slowly. You really don't want that when you're being pursued, especially when it's Ricardo. She can kick and tackle whilst running. You can use this on enemies, but it doesn't do much. It's useful for environment, like kicking doors down or destroying certain obstacles and solving puzzles. She can interact with the environment, like checking items, opening doors, walls and climbing ladders. She can utilize hiding spots to evade pursuers, like hiding under a bed, in a closet, or in bushes, but can only do so for a set number of times as enemy will catch on. She can also crouch down behind obstacles with shadows to avoid them, in which you get a unique perspective of their view as they search around. Fiona can give a commentary on certain things happening in the story. It's nice to see a perspective. Of course, throughout this journey, Fiona isn't alone, as she has a trusted dog Huey, which has his own mechanics. Like, Fiona can command Huey to do certain things, like crawling through small holes in the walls, collecting keys on the other side, and opening doors that are blocked by objects on the other side. But Huey won't do this alone, as you need to command him by using the right analog stick. Moving the analog up will command him in normal mode, search the surrounding areas for items. He can get puzzle items in the background where Fiona can't reach, and in a battle mode can attack enemies. While he's biting them, you can encourage him to do more damage. Pressing down on analog will command Huey in normal mode to call him to your side, and in battle mode he will stop biting enemies. Pressing left, you can scold Huey if he's acting disobediently, but this will have effect on how Huey will respond later on. I never had this issue, as he just listens even more. Pressing right, you can praise Huey if he responds to your command or did something praiseworthy, but that is up to you to decide. And praising him will slightly increase his stamina. Clicking the right analog stick down while in normal mode commands Huey to sit down, and when you're close enough he can give you paw, and in a battle mode you can command him to wait, as this will increase his attack power temporarily. So that is what you can do with Fiona and Huey. Now when a team, the game becomes quite easy, but sometimes the dog doesn't respond when I call him, leaving most of my playthroughs all alone, and when I command him to do something, it will take quite a while for him to do so. But it doesn't stop there, as in this game Fiona has a panic system in where she gets frightened by getting chased or environmental hazards. Fiona's visibility will get worse, like vision will be grey and the screen will be distorted. I don't know how to explain it, but you'll see it here. The menus can't be open and she runs on her own. You can control her to go left or right, but she can also trip down and run into walls. If it gets worse, she starts to crawl, leaving her vulnerable and get killed. But funny enough, it can help you escape as you run faster while in panic mode. But panic mode isn't the only thing that'll slow you down, as stamina can slow her down as well by taking damage. Receiving too much, she can't backstep to avoid attacks, but you need to take precautions by using recovery points to help you recover your stamina and reduce panic, or by finding items in a jar by kicking it, or craft an item in the refinery room, which is a safe haven in this game. You can use medicines to gain stamina, reduce your panic, and craft dog food, and make items used against pursuer, like stun them or damage them. But if you learn items, don't worry, as Fiona can heal over time and calm down, and your dog can attack them. Now you're gonna get chased by 5 different pursuers throughout the game, and all of them are unique. The only trouble I had was Pursuer 3 Ricardo, and he gave me most of the trouble. Demented is our first pursuer, as you see at the start of the game when he's chopping down meat. He isn't too difficult to maneuver around as he's quite slow, but he can go in a frenzy and run after you. You also have these luminescence orbs that when in contact can cause Fiona to panic, but getting hit 3 times, then she go out of control, and it can alert enemies. You can avoid them by running past them or running away and closing door behind you as they can't get through. Second is Daniela, and she's a unique one, as one instance she can come after your neck, and when she loses sight of you, you see her the second time when she starts to clean. She's real creepy, but she's fast, smart, and when going through doors she closes them behind her, so escaping can be a real pain. She doesn't like mirrors, so you can use them to your advantage, but is a one-time use as she'll break them. Third is Ricardo. This one gave me the most trouble. He is super fast and has a gun, so he can shoot to either scare you or hurt you. His second phase isn't that difficult, as he becomes invisible. He chases after you, but you need to hold out for a number of times as he leaves, so that was a relief. Fourth is Lorenzo. Now this was a joke, not much of a challenge. Fifth is younger Lorenzo, and wasn't that bad either. He can use alchemy, like teleport and summon fireballs, but he walks after you instead of running, probably too much ego. And this game is a technical marvel, as there's no loading screen, everything is fluid and at your own pace, so that I liked. The only game I can remember that did that was Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. Anyways, the puzzle in this game can be a little jarring, as I struggled on some. I talked about most of them throughout the story, but I want to highlight a few right now. Don't worry, as I'll be really quick with this one. The first one is that you're in a room and have to inspect things in that said room, but don't inspect the flask, hot furnace, distilling thingies and bugs, as this will happen. but choose the chest, wax body and the hourglass. Second are these golems. You need to use a typewriter and use the plates to control them. The first one you see, type in EMF as he moves out the way, and the second one you need to control his turning as you need to insert Just kidding, you need to insert right, right, left, right, right. Second is right, right, left. Third is right, right, right. And lastly, right, 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 right. And the third are these three-headed dragons. Find a typewriter and put in sulfur, salt and mercury so that the fire can become ice and you can climb up it. And don't forget to use the luminescent orb to light the lamp for the film reel, as it's important as well. Now those are the 3 puzzles I want to talk about. There are more, but you just got to figure them out for yourself. This game took me 7 hours to complete, which is a good time for a horror game. And I think that there are different endings. If not, then you get a different playstyle title as how you play the game, as I just got the title of just been playing. Well, isn't that just rude? When you complete the game, you have a secret room to explore that will have extra and minigame like the art gallery, in where you see the model artwork and look at the concept art. Very interesting. Looks like Fiona was supposed to be a high school student. I don't know. Character gallery, so you can see the model very clearly and see the animation that they have. Music gallery, to listen to the soundtrack of the game. Movie gallery, to see the cutscenes of the game. Changing area, in which you can change into different outfits. And play type list, that shows what title you earn. The minigame is basically you control Huey and have to guide Fiona to one place and another, whilst avoiding enemy A and enemy B. Those are the A, Demented, and B, Daniela. I tried and I suck at it. And that's my review of Haunting Ground. I had a lot to talk about in this one, and it's a shame that this game failed in terms of sales, but I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed Fiona as I was helpless and feel like I was in danger 24/7, as it even built up the atmosphere as well. Even more, I just like the thrill of it, and something else. And Huey, your companion, while he can be annoying in certain instances, I'd rather have him around than having nothing at all. And I'm a cat person. What the hell does that even got to do with this review? I enjoyed all the pursuer, especially Daniela, but not Ricardo. He can go to his own little corner. The atmosphere or the aesthetic was really good. It reminds me of Dracula, and for some weird reason, the Addams Family. Honestly, this game is a true hidden gem for the PlayStation, and you should play it. And with that, I've been AnimersiveXP, and I've talked about pretty much what I want to talk about. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and bye bye.
Why must you defy me? Why do you run? Let me into your womb!